Hey everybody, welcome to the Common Folk Podcast with Ben, Morgan, and Andy.
Welcome back to Common Folk. It's just me today, doing a quick intro for part 2 here with Joy of all trades. If you're just tuning in to this particular episode and you hadn't listened to last week's or listened to the previous one, I'd highly encourage you to go back to that first. That is the longer portion of this interview, but we split it up into 2 because it did go a while. We got into some very interesting topics and had a great time. So we just rolled with it, let the time flow. In part 1, again, Joy of all trades is her handle on socials. Check her out on Instagram, is primarily where I'm looking. And she posted a couple of clips from our podcast that we had on video. And I'll tell you what, man, it is stirring up some interest, some controversy, some claps, so all kinds of things, all ends of the spectrum when it comes to farming and different farming practices and things that are going on in Iowa. So if you look on social media, you'll be able to find that. Read through the comments. I'd highly encourage you to read through the comments, get a feel for what America thinks about these things and what we've got going on, because it's very telling. It's very interesting. So anyway, we had a great time with Joy. This is part 2 coming up to kind of finish out with her. Follow her on the socials. Leave us comments. Let us know what you think. Her and I are actively responding to folks on those posts and just having a great conversation. So thanks for listening. Enjoy part 2. All right, we're back. So some of the stuff that we've talked about, like we've gone down a lot of conspiracy roads and stuff like that, and I think we're
are they conspiracy?
Yeah,
if they're true,
come
though?
on.
Right. We're all kind of on the same page as far as that goes. But that made me want to ask you, what do you think about aliens?
Ooh, like UFOs and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you guys listen to Blurry Creatures at all? That
No.
podcast? Oh, if you're into
I'll look that up.
aliens, you
Write
need
that
to.
down, yeah.
Blurry
Blurry
creatures.
creatures, yeah, and they're Christians, so like they come from a biblical background, which I love because I'm like, yeah, it's one of those topics that you think is alternative topic that only those people can talk about. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure UFOs are demons.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
That's
they're
what
like,
I've heard. That's what I've heard.
yeah. No, I've yeah. I'm pretty sure they're interdimensional demons because when you look at where UFO sightings show up, they're always next to nuclear facilities.
Mm-hmm.
There's something going on with that. That is not coincidental.
Yeah.
I have some weird theories around that. I also think Bigfoot, same thing. I think Bigfoot is like people have actually cited this creature. I think it is a like interdimensional creature. Maybe it's demonic or whatever. But I mean, let's not forget that the Bible is weird, right? Like you start looking at Genesis 6 and you're like, this is some Narnia shit going on right here. Like the Nephilim, half like the giants mating with man, creating the Nephilim, like giants existed.
Yeah.
If you believe the Bible, you do believe giants existed. With that, there were some weird creatures. You go to Revelation. Why do they talk about dragons? If dragons are mythical creatures and they don't exist, why are dragons referenced in the Bible? Well, I don't know. So, like, I think UFOs and aliens are.
Well, it's on Ben's mind because he had us watch a movie, although I fell asleep. I thought it was
Signs?
a little bit boring.
Last night. That was another podcast I listened to on Rogan. He's interviewed Bob Lazar a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and they have a movie that just came out about his experience.
I mean, I think I'll finish it, but I need to not
So
be at night.
basically, it was him in the Nevada desert somewhere working on a government installation where there is actual flying saucers, and he's working on that on a team that's reverse engineering it.
Yeah.
So this whole movie is about that, his experience there, what he saw, what he did, what he's outing, like
It is
those kinds of
interesting.
things.
What's the movie called?
I think it's called the Bob Lazar Project
Story
or
or
Story or
Project?
something
Yeah.
Is it
like
on
that.
Netflix?
Yeah. It's on Amazon.
Gotta buy it.
Yeah, you gotta
I mean-
rent it. Yeah.
Like what?
So
I don't
the
know.
dude-
Gotta pay to learn about aliens.
And,
Yeah.
and I kind of felt good about paying for it because I listened to the Rogan podcast with him and the guy who was the producer of the movie. And the producer himself basically put all of his own money into it. He's got millions of dollars in it. And he's like, I hope I make my money back. He's like, I don't think I'm going to, but this is just so important that it needs to be out there. So it's
Yes,
just
you
kinda,
feel good
kinda
paying for it.
interesting. Yeah, it makes you feel a little better.
Well, what'd you come out thinking? Like, did your mind shift on anything or no?
No, I mean
Okay.
just that like there's no denying what this guy experienced and what he saw.
Yeah.
I mean it's
But there is no Bob Lazar.
oh there is
Yeah, Bob's
No,
out there.
I know, but they're saying like you couldn't track him back to the jobs that he had, and no, he
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
work
like-
here, and he
Oh.
was scrubbed from this.
Yeah.
It's like, really,
Interesting.
bro? Like, how can we just erase people just like that
yeah
They
yeah.
do it all the time.
all the
Oh,
time?
they
It's
do.
just
Yeah.
freaky.
He's got a wild story as far
Yeah.
as those things go. But
yeah. So
sidebar. So what I actually wanted to ask you to close out this podcast was, in regards to all these things that we're talking about, one of the things that I like about your social media platform is that you kind of share with people different ways that you do things and how you go about things and how you handle stuff, in your own household in terms of foods and diets and exercise and all the different things, that you're into. I wanted you to talk to us a little bit about that. Like, what kind of things are you doing that's different? What kind of things are you recommending to folks? What kind of things should folks be looking into and talking more about and learning more about?
I think I'm not really doing anything alternative. I'm just doing things old school.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going back to like eating whole foods and fermenting foods and canning a lot of things. So eating food when it's fresh, in season, locally, I think that's what our grandparents used to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we should all be doing because that's when you get the highest nutrient density of the product is when it's fresh. And then I think there's ways to preserve food so we don't have to be going to Costco in December and buying Brussels sprouts that are coming from California that have been on the road for 7 days. Maybe we could just be a little bit more sustainable and grow or consume some of the real foods that are whole foods to sustain our bodies. I think that's how you live a healthy lifestyle. So I don't know if I am doing some weird shit. So like I shouldn't say that, but I think I'm just doing a lot of like old school stuff. I also really encourage and advocate for people to get a water filtration system in their home. Everyone in Iowa should have a water filtration system in their home. That is a low-hanging fruit of good health. Just get one installed. It's kind of a set it and forget it. Obviously, you have to update and put in new filters here and there, but that's a no-brainer. I'm very strong on that. I think getting outside, having some connection with nature, physically moving your body, exercising, sweating, getting into zone 2 cardio. These are
Sunlight.
These are basic things that
Yeah.
we used to do until we became a very sedentary, unhealthy, ultra-processed people. So
Yeah.
I just encourage people to get back to that because I have noticed a night and day difference of who I am as a person, going from the girl who was on hormonal birth control, thought Chick-fil-A wasn't bad for her, was indoctrinated by the world, to I stopped consuming and being a part of those things, and I'm a completely different person today.
What's changed? Like what things are you noticing?
Honestly, I feel like a veil was just kind of lifted. Not like I feel like I'm enlightened and I'm just like this new, like I connect with the aliens now. Like I have way more energy. I feel way more connected. I feel like I can actually have better connections with people and be more present with people. I have higher energy. That's something that you can always bring no matter how untalented you are or how uneducated, or if you don't think you have all these skills, you can always bring energy. You can always bring a positive attitude. And in order to do that, you have to have energy. So you have to take care of yourself to do that. And I'm also just more curious about life now that I'm healthier.
Oh, wow.
And that makes me do a little bit more deep diving into things. And I think properly doing my due diligence on what I'm consuming and putting in my body, not just food wise, but what I'm listening to, what I'm watching. Being a healthier person has ultimately exponential positive effects on your life. If you are not taking care of your vessel, you're going to struggle. You're not going to be as productive. You're not going to be as happy. You're not going to be as healthy. You're not going to be as efficient. It starts with just taking care of yourself. And that's why I think it's so important to advocate to people, especially people in Iowa. Like the rural community isn't always good at taking care of themselves. Just to get back to taking care of you so you can take care of others and you can take care of business.
And the conspiracy mind kind of says like that's what they want, right?
Yes,
Like,
they want us to be fat and in debt and divorced and unhappy. And oh my gosh, not to tangent, but did you guys see the latest one about Ozempic? So there's
boy,
like
I can only imagine
how many,
Yeah.
what is there, 60 million people they're saying
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Ozempic. I don't know what the
Yeah.
figures are, but they're now saying, and this was on Chris Williamson's podcast, Modern Wisdom, that they're now finding out that people that were going on Ozempic, because it takes away your desire for food, it like turns off these circuits essentially that make you have desire, like that dopamine hit from food. It's now doing the same in all sections
Areas
of desire of their brain.
Right.
So now it is making them not desire their partner.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's not making them desire things that they used to enjoy as hobbies. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, not saying, it had to be the
Yeah.
medical establishment's plan the whole time, but like how great would it be if people were just disconnected and had no desire to
Right.
bond with other human
No
beings.
drive, yeah.
They tried to do that during
Yep.
COVID, right?
Yep.
They tried to like separate
Yeah.
us and put us in these boxes and tell people wear a mask and have no social connection with other people, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
No. God didn't design us to be lone wolves. We are people that we need connection. We need to bond with other people. It's very important. That's also something I've like found with being healthy. Like I want to form relationships with people. I want to get to know people more. I enjoy going out with friends. When you're on medications and when you're doing non-healthy things, you don't have that same desire for human connection. And that's
Yeah.
really fucked up.
Yeah.
So I think, it's like just take care of yourself so you can enjoy life to your fullest, because we're not here for very long. You don't have to be so gosh dang serious about it, but you're going to have a hell of a lot harder time getting through
Yeah.
this life if you are chronically stressed out,
Right.
if you have chronic health issues.
Well,
if-
people just get in that groove and they don't even really realize it, right?
Yeah.
They're just used to that day to day. This is just how it is.
They
I'm
don't-
getting older. It's just how things go. Life's stressful.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yep.
I'm glad that you said that, because that's what I was hoping you would say, is like the mental clarity and the motivation, the energy, those kinds of things. Could you imagine if the majority of the people that you dealt with brought that kind of mentality and that kind of energy to the game every day?
Yeah.
Dang, this world would be a different place.
There is no way we would be in the political climate that we're in right now, because we would have shut those bastards down a long time ago.
We
Yeah.
would not be sheep leading to the slaughter,
Yes.
essentially.
So, and the biggest mindset, because you hit the nail on the head, it takes energy to focus. It takes energy to go do something. And you're obviously living proof of that. You traveled over 2 hours to be here to converse with us.
Absolutely.
So you've flipped a switch to where you're not a consumer anymore. You're a creator.
Yes.
And that is a way more healthier way to live your life. There's just more enjoyment to it. And I do feel, and I talked to Ashley about this, I think last night,
Yeah.
how so many things are just geared to shut you up and keep you at home. Gas prices are high. There's just so many goddamn things that are just trying to strip you of all these just little enjoyments, traveling home to go over Easter. I got my debit card statement back or checked it. It was over $100 to drive a truck up home.
Yeah.
So there are restrictions, but piss on it, make an effort to get out and do something.
And
be
feel
a
like-
creator.
Feel like you have agency in your life.
Yeah.
I think so many people are depressed because they feel that they
Yeah.
don't have choice. They work
Right.
a job they don't like, they're in a place they don't like, they don't think they have the ability to be more or extend their life beyond what their current boundaries are. And it's like, that's a lie. That's a lie being told to you.
Yeah.
Take the bull by the horns, have some agency in your life, because that is the best way to break out of depression. I fully
Right.
believe that. Like, yes, go to therapy, do all the things you need to do. But if you are depressed, ask yourself, what am I not doing that I really want to be doing? And why am I holding myself back? Because I guarantee there's some type of lack of agency that you feel in your life that's making you chronically stressed and depressed.
And it's tough
course.
too. Like, people have to get the motivation in the beginning to do the hard thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because the easy thing is pop the pill, right?
Yeah.
And watch social
Turn on
media.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Right, Netflix.
Yeah.
Doom scroll.
It's very hard to do that hard thing first, but then once you do it, I think it starts compounding, like you're saying.
Yeah.
How long ago did you decide to go down this path? Like,
I feel like it was kind of around COVID.
was it?
Yeah, I had gotten to the point where I decided I wanted to get off hormonal birth control because I just realized what it was doing to women's health. And I was like, oh, this is kind of a scam. And I only got on it because I had really bad acne in high school. I just didn't want bad acne like
Yep.
any girl doesn't.
Yep.
And then I got off hormonal birth control and for lack of a better explanation, it literally just felt like the veil was lifted. And
Like-
all of a sudden
like
this
that
fog
one change
just,
was
yes.
super huge for you.
Yes. And I just like started changing what I ate, and I just started like
That's a
doing
great
more
point.
research, and it was just like, whoa, I feel like it's a different version of myself that I'm feeling. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of like look behind this glass at who I used to be, and I'm like, dude, I don't know who the fuck that is, because like it doesn't even feel like me. It's almost like an out of body experience. And I was only on birth control. I didn't do any other medications. It was literally that. So I'm like, think about how many women are on that medication along with anti-anxiety, antidepressants,
Right.
all these other things. They have no idea how good they could feel or how much more energy they could have if they got off some of those things and started living a different lifestyle.
The enjoyment levels would just go up.
Yes.
You'd have your desires back to go do the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Go bowling, join a dart league, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and that all gets washed away and you don't even notice it happening. And like you say, you just get caught up in a doom scroll and that's your day to day.
It's so subtle.
It is. And it's,
And the
goddamn,
devil
it's
is
sad.
subtle.
Yeah,
He's like,
right.
Everyone
Very.
likes to think that like it's super obnoxious and it's like the big billboard. And I'm like, no, sin is like 1 degree off from God's calling, And that's one thing I want to extend the invitation to people to explore for their own life is like, God put you on this earth for a reason. He gave you the passions and interests you have for a reason. Do not put them to waste. Be the best version of yourself so you can pursue those things, because God has a calling for you. And by sitting on your couch and doom scrolling and eating the junk food, you are wasting the potential that He gave you. You are not doing what God has called you to do. So like from that perspective too, I think it's really important to talk about that. It's a difference between a fulfilling life and an unfulfilling life, and it is your choice.
And
Yeah.
it's all connected. You talk about eating good food. Well, it takes a lot of energy to run your brain, and what you start in your gut, it
Yes.
directly impacts it. You don't even think of that. Like I never thought of it until a few years ago. Like, of course, eating a really good piece of venison, is going to be a lot better for you and give you better brain functionality
Yeah.
than eating a goddamn sticky bun with Mountain Dew. Double
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Double
Do you guys eat a lot of wild game, or do you guys?
We do.
Yeah.
Yes. A
With
lot
your
of deer
especially
meat.
with your husband being in the outdoor
Yep.
industry and
And
or
I-
your boyfriend. I'm sorry.
And I also want to like get more elk and stuff like that
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
really in Iowa, it's mainly venison.
Yeah.
And then we have quite a bit of turkey boob in our freezer too right now. But yeah, like I think there's absolute tying back to the food you're consuming, right?
yeah.
You are what
For
you
sure.
eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I go out of my way to also just like source things well. I haven't bought eggs from the store in God knows how long. I drink raw milk because I'm a weirdo. I make fresh bread out of like freshly milled grains in my kitchen. I do all that
Those
stuff.
breads are so much better tasting too.
They're so much better tasting. Oh my gosh. And they don't have any like side effects.
Yeah,
You don't get
yeah.
like the brain fog from them. You don't get the carb crash.
Yep.
It is literally how nature intended us to eat grain, is by freshly milling it yourself. So like, yeah, I have to go out of my way, and some of those things are
Yeah.
a little bit more expensive and time consuming and whatever.
But the appreciation goes up.
Exactly.
You know,
It is
the enjoyment.
exactly.
What do you say like to people who like look at something like that and say, "Man, it's too much. Like that takes too much time. It's too much effort. I don't have that."
You can't afford not to.
Yeah.
Like,
Start small too.
yeah, exactly. You don't have to go max and turn into a homesteader if you don't want to. Like, take the steps that you can. But after being the one girl and being who I am now, I'm like, I can't afford not to.
Yeah.
I cannot go back to feeling that way, having that health situation, and I won't. Like, I will do whatever it takes for me to live the healthy lifestyle, because even if I don't have as much money in my life, at least I'm doing everything I can to prevent early onset dementia or getting diabetes or having a chronic disease that will impair me from living the life I want when I'm 60.
Yeah.
I've seen those people. My dad is that person, and I'm just like, I will not be that person. I will
Yeah.
do whatever it takes.
And isn't that funny how that gets twisted around? Like, oh, you just want to live forever? No, I just want
Yeah.
to live my best life.
Like, gosh,
you
I
know?
could die tomorrow, but like,
Yeah.
I didn't die from a chronic disease tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, like, that's my goal. You know what I mean?
I wonder if when you were saying that, it made me think of something when you were talking about like the joy and satisfaction you get out of doing those things. And I think about like, because you said, I'm just doing stuff that people used to do, right?
Yeah.
And is that, maybe that's part of what our mental issues are today, is that people aren't doing those things and therefore getting that satisfaction, that sense of accomplishment, that
Yes.
sense of I'm providing for
Yeah.
myself, I'm providing for people around me, through that hard work.
Hot take, I think that's one of the big issues with young men right now in the country.
Yeah.
They do not have that something to fight for, something to work towards, and that need for satisfaction, and also like getting respect by achieving things.
Yeah.
Men aren't getting that right now. So we have
Right.
all these young men that are struggling to find purpose.
Yeah.
I think
There it
that's a
is.
huge problem right
There
now.
it is. You're taking away purpose.
Yeah.
Like
It's
men
tough.
need
We've
purpose.
talked
Well,
about that
we're
a little
being
bit.
told
Yeah.
that our purpose is to go do a 9 to 5 and bring home a paycheck, and then, get home at 6 o'clock, go to bed at 9, then get up and do it all over again. Mm-hmm. That's what we've been taught our purpose is, but it's really not.
I think men's purpose is to be leaders as well, and to be fathers, and to be
Protectors,
husbands,
all those
protectors.
things,
Yes,
yeah.
but if men aren't finding a wife, a partner to like pursue those dreams with, what goals and purpose do they have?
Yeah.
Do they want to do it all for themselves? Sure, they can. I would argue that's gonna ultimately make them less fulfilled, and then they're going to go
Yeah.
towards other things like drugs and
Right.
alcohol and porn or whatever else, because like you need purpose. We need purpose, and I think young men are really hungry right now, and they're really searching for it, and they're finding it in the wrong places.
Yeah.
We're just not finding it at all.
Yeah.
And that leads to anxiety, a very
Depression.
actual dangerous men.
Dangerous behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was a quote I brought up a while ago, and it's still sticking with me. And it went something like this: after a certain amount of time, a single man is nothing more than a dangerous man.
It's true.
Because he doesn't have a family to look out for. You don't know where his loyalties tie. He's not trying to protect a family or provide for a family, or teach his son, values or anything. So what is he doing all these things for then?
He quickly
Yeah.
becomes a statistic of who ends up in jail.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's all been glorified for a long time. Like being a wildcatter and having 15 ladies and all this other
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a false reality of what actually makes a guy happy.
100%.
So
Last question I'll ask you, just because I think it's a hot topic right now. How do you feel about alcohol?
Oh gosh, wow! This is not a quick question, but I think it's a scam. I genuinely think it's a scam. When you look at communistic societies in history that did not give people a lot of food, resources such as clothing, toys, whatever, they always gave people alcohol. There's no society that didn't have like the shitty beer or bad gin or whatever that they supplied to their people. And I think it is a mechanism of control.
Oh, for sure.
I think it dumbs us down. I think it's also just bad from a health perspective when you look at the effect alcohol has on the brain. I think we'd all have to recognize what idiots we are for continuing to use it for fun. I do it too. I will be at the state fair come August in Iowa, and I will have a beer in my hand at a concert. I probably will. I have lowered my consumption immensely after learning what it does to the human body, what it does to our health, and I think it's robbing something from our soul. When you can take something that takes you out of the moment and like alters your brain chemistry on your ability to be present and to like process things in real time, I feel like there's something, I don't want to say demonic, but I feel like there's something really off about that. And I also think it's no coincidence that our society doesn't allow cigarette commercials to be aired on TV, but what is always on TV? What was on the game last night?
Alcohol.
The
It's
on
NCAA
everything.
double,
Yeah.
the championship
All
was last
over
night.
it.
It's Cuervo and it's this beer and it's that. It is celebrated as something that everyone should take. Everyone consumes it. It's what you take when you're stressed. It's what you take when you're mad. It's what you take when you're happy. It's what you take to relax. It's what you take to celebrate. Like it's turned into this like cultural norm that is slowly killing us. And I think it dumbs us down as a society. It's like, what's that quote? Like, if you give them beer, they won't revolt or whatever.
Yeah,
It's kind of like from the Roman. Like, if you give them bread, they won't revolt. I think it's the same with alcohol. Like, make sure that there's no shortage of supply. There's always cheap liquor available. And people will just, like, drink themselves into a stupor.
yeah, it does deaden your senses, and it
Yeah.
doesn't take much to do that. But I also believe that we are a celebratory culture,
Yes.
and that's a good thing. So there's a time and a place for it. Hear me out on
Yes.
this.
No, I'm not, like, anti it fully because, like, Jesus drank wine, right? So
Right.
I'm not, like,
Yeah, and you said
all alcohol.
you'll have beers or whatever.
And
Yeah.
there's I think that kind of goes back on being a creator, not a consumer.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for it, and it's probably not every day after fucking work.
No.
You know, the old six-packers that you're talking about, the 9 to 5, you know, that's what got hit the hardest in the early days of COVID when everything was taken away was the six-packers. Like, there weren't people leaving work, buying a six-pack of beer and going home. That was felt by Anheuser-Busch right away. And then you started seeing laws opening back up where you could actually buy drinks in the drive-through.
Yeah, we'll take them home.
Yeah, that's right.
You
Yeah.
know, you're talking about making sure people are drunk and stupid. That was your case in point. Like, look what we got changed like that. But we can't change waterway.
That was so when you think about that, that was
You could
so
get a drive-through
strange.
margarita at Diamond Millie's. It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
a burger joint.
Like,
Yeah.
why not just make a drive-through? Here's some cocaine. Like, here's some heroin. Do you need
Yeah.
needles to go with it? Like, let's just make poor decisions.
But where I was going, but that's it. It's on you. It's on the individual. I think there's some agency there where you take ownership of your consumption, and you keep it at a level. You know, you save it. Like the beer means more. My 12-ounce beer means more when it's just at a concert, or when it's just when friends and family come over, or it's just on card
just
night.
at a wedding.
yeah, just at
You
a
know?
wedding or Easter or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
then
know.
you
Maybe
don't
there's
have that-
justification for everything. Someone could say that for every night.
That's
then,
true.
Too. So it's a slippery slope.
But it's
Of
a
course it is.
self-regulatory thing. Where if you
Exactly.
have a problem with it and you're beating your wife because of it, don't drink. You
Yeah.
know, like there's so many people that can't handle alcohol and it's so accessible that they continue to consume it. And then
Yeah.
they ruin their lives. And that really sucks because there's so many people I even know. And I'm just like, man, your potential is through the roof if you got a grip on
Yeah.
this depressant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just such a boring and dull drug to
Yeah.
to allow that to happen.
Yeah, cocaine's way funner.
Yeah, come on, guys, let's go.
Instantly canceled.
DMT.
And when you get to the state of mind that you're talking about, you know, that you've been able to achieve, properly dealing with those things becomes way easier. So being able to make that decision of, yeah, no, I'm cool having a drink at the state fair or whatever, but that's the only one I'm going to have probably for the next 3 months just because I'm in control of this, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
It makes things get, when you start getting into those states of just feeling like crap and eating like crap and doing all these things and having no drive, it is so easy to fall in those ruts.
Yeah, and one, it's a 40 ounce to freedom. You know, I can forget about it, and it's designed to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But I mean, again, stats have shown that alcohol consumption is way down. So
My generation.
your generation, and
Yes.
the generation like,
they're still
I mean,
drugged
yeah.
up though.
Hey, we
Yeah, we're taking other shit. Don't worry.
well, I'm sure maybe it's weed, whatever. But I do feel like mocktails and things are coming on the rise
Yes.
because our generation, millennials, are like, oh God, we got to get this together, and this isn't fun being hungover, and we can't function.
Right.
And why? Like, you know,
Yeah,
I'm
why
going to
do
go
we-
to
why
a
do we
party.
poison
Like,
ourselves for
why can't
fun?
I just have a soda or a club soda? I mean, I don't
Yeah.
have to drink to have fun. I can still be myself and then feel good tomorrow at 7 a.m. You know,
100%.
have we learned some of that from, say, your generation? How old are you, by the way? We haven't.
I'm
talked-
27.
27. Okay, so from your generation, has our generation learned from that? Maybe.
maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
because the generation before us, they didn't necessarily come to this realization that
Yeah,
we've come to at
true.
40.
There's-
you know?
yeah.
So
No,
there
they
had to
believe-
have been some other influence that made us decide.
Well,
you
I
know.
think it's just this bigger health kick. Like, oh, we need creatine, we need protein, we need like what else? We need
we need
all
the
this
teens.
water. We need like
Well, our grandparents and our parents believed the Budweiser commercial that, God damn it, if you drink a Budweiser, 9/11 was bad, and I'm a heart-bleeding American. You know, America, I'm doing it for America. You know, and that goes back into consumerism. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, drink more, eat more, and it's fine. Don't ask questions. It's fine.
It's an
for
identity
you.
thing.
That
Identity
too.
is that.
It's
that's
like,
Yeah.
you know, like I come from a country culture. Country folks, you drink beer.
That's
Yeah.
right, God damn it.
You don't drink the fruity drinks. You drink beer, you drink whiskey, and you drink.
And God
Gosh
forbid
dang it. It's
Yeah.
Friday, you're drinking.
Right.
Like, I will be around people that I think they will be uncomfortable when they offer me a beer and I say no. You can see the look in their face where they're like, do you sure you don't want this? Well, I have whiskey. Like, it's like, you need to be drinking because I'm drinking. And I'm just like, no, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm drunk on life, bitch. Don't worry about me. Like, I'm having a great time. I'm having way more fun than you, actually. So, like, don't you worry about me. I'm doing just fine. But you know what I mean? It's like a social thing.
It is. It's a social thing. But we've gone back to that. And there's, good videos. It's like, why do people care what I'm drinking?
Yes. Why would you care what I'm consuming?
It's uncomfortable.
Well, we all
You're
know
another
the
shot.
reasons why.
Yeah.
It's a psychology thing.
Yeah, it is.
I noticed it one time, and then I was like, I got to research this later because this is for sure a thing.
So we got this T-shirt. It's going to be like farm fresh eggs, venison. I'm drunk on life, bitch.
America.
Yes, sir. There we go.
America.
Sweet corn and sweet corn.
Oh yeah, you better add that.
Oh, I do love sweet corn. I'm so excited. For
So
sweet corn
good.
season.
Yeah.
It is good.
I mean,
So good.
No doubt.
I don't know how anyone could argue.
Also,
sweet
what I love
corn.
about that, I meant to say this earlier. You said something that I've never heard anybody else say, and I've said it on this podcast before. I fully believe it. In eating the foods that are
season,
from our
yes.
region in our season.
Yeah, she said
Because
it.
I've always seen this as a problem where, like, it's the dead of winter and I'm eating tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Our
that's not
ancestors
the
weren't
way.
doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the way this was designed to
Well,
be.
tomatoes,
Like,
but
this-
out of jars.
Yeah.
It could have been something like that,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and it would have been in a different form. There would have been something different
Or
about
canned,
it.
yeah.
Also,
Fermented, whatever.
it would have been made from something that I grew here that was nutritious and dense and whatever.
Held
right?
on to its nutrients too.
Exactly.
Yes.
In that
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. I think we've just done such a crazy thing with the availability of things like produce and whatever else.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you brought that
And
up.
that idea that I deserve this. I can eat
Yeah.
tuna whenever I want.
Yeah.
No, I'm in Iowa. Why in the hell would I think I should be able to
Right.
eat tuna
Yeah.
whenever I
Right.
want?
No, it comes
You know?
back to like we haven't had hard times though, so we don't understand
Yeah,
that
yeah,
concept of going without.
Yep.
And also, regionally, you should eat what's in season.
Mm-hmm.
You will be a changed person if you do that. Like even 80% of what you eat
Mm-hmm.
is locally in season, regionally grown. It will make a difference. I promise you, it will make a difference.
Yeah.
That's why I only
So
drink
good.
whiskey that's made out of our corn
Yeah,
mash
exactly.
tuna.
It's Nebraska corn.
There's some good whiskey in Iowa.
There is. Cedar
there
Ridge is a very good whiskey.
Is that Buffalo Trace too? Is that Iowa? Or
No,
Pendleton?
that's
I don't think so.
Kentucky.
Cedar Ridge is Swisher though.
Okay.
Yeah, but come on, I'm a little worried now because doesn't it have some water? Oh wait, but the whiskey kills it. Like we're
Yeah,
good.
it's
we're
all
good.
bad.
Okay.
Hey,
It's all bad. Sometimes you just have to enjoy the cocktail.
I'm on
Every
board
once
with
in a
Iowa. I'm on board with
Cedar Ridge.
Iowa. I'm a big Iowa fan. So
There's another one in Iowa. You said Cedar Ridge. Templeton. That's what I'm thinking
Yeah,
of.
Templeton.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
Cedar Ridge better. Sorry, Templeton.
Yeah.
But Cedar Ridge makes some pretty good whiskeys.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, this was great.
Yeah, it's been
Thanks
fun,
for
Joy.
coming
We
all the way
appreciate
out
it.
here.
Yeah.
Gosh,
No problem.
yeah.
You definitely made a hike, and we appreciate that. I think folks are going to enjoy this. Like I said, we'll probably do a couple episodes out of this.
Okay.
But I mean, to me, it's inspirational. It's cool to see, a younger generation looking at things like this. Having the drive and desire that you have, making the decisions that you're making. Hopefully, it's rubbing off on people. I think it is. I mean, if you look
Yeah.
at the following that you have on social media, folks obviously appreciate it.
Yeah.
So hopefully
No
you
doubt.
feel that. Do you get feedback from folks that are like,
Yeah. And I think some people will just even say, like, thanks for bringing attention to this.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I've been thinking this for a long time. Thanks for making a video about it or whatever. And I think it comes back to, like, the common folk, right?
right?
There's a lot of
Yes.
us that are in the same boat. We're thinking the same things. We're all
Yeah.
frustrated, but why aren't we talking about it then? So like when you put it
100%.
out on social media, then I think it also makes people think, oh, I'm not alone. Here's someone else talking about the same things that
Yep.
I'm also concerned or curious about.
Does it take a lot of your time? I mean, social media. I mean, that's not your. I guess we never even asked. That's not your full.
It
time
takes
gig,
it takes
but-
more of my time now.
More,
And
yeah.
I've kind of had to decide how I want to structure that with like all these other things that I have going on too.
Okay.
But I feel that it is making a positive impact, and I think I am gaining traction with it. So I don't want to slow down.
Yeah.
It's just trying to figure out how do I organize my life and set up systems in place so I can continue to do it and grow it and build it and expand upon it without it sucking up too much of my time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to navigate that right now. I'm trying
Okay.
to figure that out.
You're living
Yeah.
life.
to be determined.
Right. That's a good problem to have, though. I
Yeah.
mean, that you have people really listening to your content and wanting it, and for you to feel satisfied that you can put more stuff out and you're going to make a difference. I mean, I think that's huge because
hope
again,
so.
people want to do the easy route and just be like, nah, I don't really want to do this. Who's seeing it? You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and like when we were talking about money earlier, like that's one of the reasons why I always felt good about following you is I never felt like there's some monetary drive behind what this lady's doing. Like I see it and I'm like, this is genuine. And I can feel good checking it out.
I don't make a lot of money on my content.
I'm sure.
And that's what some people like don't understand. I think they
Right.
think like, oh, you're posting on the internet, you're only in this for money. And I'm like, bitch.
Right.
You think I made this video about something where I'm like, this is really important to me. It needs to be said. It's probably not going to be very popular, and it's not like the most sexy video in the world, so it's not going to reach the most number of people. I made it anyway though because it matters.
Yeah.
That's like that's my motivating force. That's why I'm still going. The
And that's you at your core.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel very fulfilled, and it has like purpose in it. And I genuinely think the content creation world and like the quote unquote influencers, yuck word, but like those people that are all about themselves and it's about what they're wearing, it's about just about their makeup, and it's about very superficial things. Regardless, it's their interest, passion, whatever, but there's more superficial things. I think those people experience burnout, and they will not continue to do that stuff for the long haul.
It's not
I think
sustainable, yeah.
Yeah, I think when you really have like purpose and passion behind a lot of things that have meaning at large, that's a driving force. Like I could get the nastiest DMs in the world. I could have no luck for months at a time. I don't give a shit. Like I have purpose and passion in what I'm pursuing. That is enough fire to light my candle. Like that's what I need to
I
keep
love
going.
it.
So,
That's amazing.
so right there, because you're going to stick with it and all these things, you are going to be a millionaire in a short amount of time here. And I will still like your
I
content.
hope
I will
so.
still consume your content. Ben might fall off the wagon.
Yeah, he'll be like,
not me.
Joy's a millionaire now. She sucks.
I can't listen to
She's
her.
one of those.
Who's paying
Yeah.
Joy's bills now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where just recap where folks can find your social media channels and
Yep.
stuff.
So Joy of All Trades is my handle on all my platforms. I'm mainly on Instagram. That's really the best place to find me or reach out to me if you do want to reach out to me. TikTok, Facebook, and just a wee bit on YouTube.
Cool. And also, I'd encourage folks to go check out, remind us the guy's name that's running for governor.
Zach Lane. It's spelled Zachlahn. Zach Lane.
Yeah, it's just super interesting. I mean, if nothing else, even if you don't agree with all the stuff that this guy's saying, it's one of those things where like it's opening doors to things that need to happen. So maybe he'll be successful, maybe he won't,
Yeah.
but hopefully he'll at least be successful in getting people to actually think about this and do something.
And pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay, and this race obviously is happening now, and the
Yep.
vote is.
Yep, it's this
Okay,
year.
it is
yep.
this year.
So the primary is, I want to say June 2nd.
Okay.
So it's like 50 some days from now is the primary, and then the election's obviously November.
November, yeah.
The Sean Ryan interview with him is really good. If folks who are listening to this, if you listen to any other podcasts, check that one out. I didn't listen to the Tucker one, but I'm sure it was great.
Yeah, it was good.
You learn a lot about that guy and what's going on in Iowa. So
Nice.
thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Super interesting.
Yeah, come on, hit the pause. Come on, which one is
Which
it?
one's that? Is it this one? Nope.
No.
Oops.
Yeah,
does that every
I thought he was going to hit the money one on accident.
Oh, there's a money one? What's a money one?
I erased the
Oh,
money
you
one.
did?
Yeah, I erased
He
that.
hates it.
Shocker. You did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what's there? Nothing?
No, nothing.
Oh my God. I swear.
we could put something else in
Yeah,
there.
we could.
Yeah.
Come
Like
on.
a UFO alien
There
sound
you
or
go.
something.
Yeah.
That would be
That'd be
appropriate.
good. I'd be down with that.
Yeah. Shoot.
All right. Anything
Hilarious.
else?
No.
All right. We'll see you
All
guys.
right. Peace.